friends, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Alana. For this video, I am going to be discussing all the books I am hoping to read in September. For the month of September, I have about 5 books that I am planning to read. 2 are going to be buddy reads. So I'm really excited to get to these. Now that we're getting into fall, I'm definitely feeling more fall vibes for reading. Romances with fall vibes, or honestly fantasy with a little maybe some darker vibes to it. I don't know, I'm just going with what I'm feeling. Definitely am looking forward to reading this stack because I feel like I picked some good ones that I think will give me the vibes that I'm wanting. I did really good with my August TBR, so I'm actually really excited to see how I do this month because I feel like I can kill it, hopefully. And then throw in maybe some extra reads that hopefully are good. So for my first buddy read, I'm actually going to be reading Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins with my good friend Robin. We have been on a journey, so we both, and it was unintentional and not a buddy read, but we both read the trilogy in the May-June time frame. We decided to buddy read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes together, since we knew we were gonna basically be reading the rest of the books. And so now we're going to finish off and read Sunrise on the Reaping together. I feel like this is going to wreck me so much, and I'm slightly not ready, but I'm also ready to be completely in the know of this series, especially because I've been trying my best to avoid spoilers as I've been reading, and so I feel like I need to read it sooner rather than later just to be able to kind of talk and join the discourse that has been happening over the past few months. All I really know about this one in particular is that it is Haymitch's book, so we are reading from his viewpoint as he experiences his year of the games. And then all I really know about his games is that his were the first quarter quell, which means it was the first anniversary year. With his games, I remember that they're special because they doubled the amount of victors. Instead of the initial 12, it's my math may be off, 24 or 48 kids in the arena all together this time, and so that means his odds are doubly stacked against him because everybody knows victors from 12 are really, really rare. So yeah, that's all I really know. That's all I want to know going in. I'm really intrigued to see how this plays off of Snow's book. I see why we got Snow's book, and I see kind of why Suzanne wanted that told first, but at the same time, I'm still curious as to why she chose to write Snow's book than Haymitch's book. And so I'm intrigued to see how the knowledge that we learn in Snow's book kind of plays into effect in Haymitch's book, especially in regards to Lucy Gray, her disappearance, and then Snow's rise to power and everything. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm nervous. Obviously I know he wins because the trilogy. It's a lot. We shall see. Alright, my next buddy read is going to be Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This is a buddy read that I'm doing with Brie, Monet, and then maybe Chanel. I've read this series before. I've read the series plenty of times. This was one of my favorite series when I was in high school. And so Brie has never read it before. And so she said she wanted to, so I said, sure, I'm glad to reread it with y'all. I remember this was the series I picked up right after Twilight because I read Twilight and then I was like, damn, I need something else. And so I was trying to pick up any a vampire book I could get my hands on because I wanted to experience the same feeling that I had with Twilight. And this was the next thing I picked up, and I absolutely also loved this series. So it was just hard because I was trying to continuously find that feeling, and it was I kind of would find it, but obviously each series is different, so it would give me a different feeling. And so basically this is how I just fell into the rabbit hole of being a reader. It's been a really long time since I've read the series fully through. So we'll see if that happens, but I've definitely read the first one a few times now. But this story follows two girls, Vasilisa or Lisa and Rose, and they live in a world where there are vampires who are royalty, and then I always say this name wrong, and then there are they're like demi-vampires, basically. Who are basically the warriors in their society. They both go to this school where they train the royal vampires, and then they train the demi-vampires to be the bodyguards of the royal vampires. So when we start the story, because of a lot of reasons that happen before this book starts, Lisa and Rose have run away. They are found by a new, like, vampire teacher, or one of, like, the most profound vampire, like, warriors, Dimitri, and they are brought back to the academy. Rose and Lisa have to basically adapt to being back into the academy and back into, like, the high school setting again. The royal vampires have special abilities, and so Lisa is believed to not have an ability. But, like, she's also lost her entire family, so she's just dealing with a lot of, like, mental health issues, which is why they initially ran in the first place. And then Rose is trying to train to become Lisa's bodyguard, and that's, like, all she's strived for her entire life, because they've been best friends forever. So the story follows them as they're trying to adapt back into school, and then they're starting to realize that there are dark forces at play who are trying to manipulate Lisa into, like, basically doing what their factions want. And then Rose is also striving to kind of protect Lisa at all costs, while also dealing with a semi-attraction to Dimitri, who is trying to also train her to be a powerful warrior. This is a really old series, but I loved it, and I'm intrigued to reread it. I'm sure it's going to make me cringe at some points, but we're here for it. So next are 3 books that I have not read before. So the first one I have is Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Roerich. I have been hearing so many things about this one, and then her other series. I think it's like Rain and Shadows something. But I've heard a lot about this series in particular, and I think it's maybe ending soon. I don't know. But I am finally at the point where I really want to read it. It's about a girl who has been trained to be an assassin alongside of her sisters, and she essentially is presented with the opportunity to get revenge on the person who killed her mother. And then there also seems to be, like, a bigger conspiracy going on where, like, children are disappearing, and so I guess she may take part in that or something like that. That's all I really know, but I'm a big fan of female assassin stories, so I'm definitely intrigued to check this out and see if it's something I could enjoy, hopefully. So the next book I have is Direbound by Sable Sorensen. Again, this is another one I've heard interesting things about. I believe it's about a woman, Marin, whose sister has gone missing, so she enlists in the army in order to get her back. But the year that she enlists is the year of something called the bonding trials. And so in these trials, all the soldiers have to try and bond with a direwolf. And I think she's somewhat successful. That's all I know from the synopsis. But I love a good trial book. Like, any book that has, like, some type of trial, some type of competition, levels, whatever, I'm here for it. So I'm definitely willing to give this a chance and see how I feel. I'm actually really excited to pick this up. So probably after my buddy reads, this might be the next thing I pick up because I'm here for it. And then the last book I have is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iriyu. I did try to pick this up this summer, and then I was like, let me make sure to read it when I definitely have the capacity to give it my full attention, because everybody has loved this and I want to love it too. So from what I understand, this girl has been prophesized. This girl named Alara, she has, like, had a prophecy, like, thrust upon her, where essentially it says that she will fall in love with a star, but that it will be, like, the death of both of them or something. So when an actual star falls from the sky and basically starts to take out her kingdom, she runs, and she runs into the hands of a neighboring kingdom that's kind of her enemy. And so she basically barters with them in order for them to train her so she can get her revenge. And then I think in doing so, she may fall in love with that enemy kingdom's prince. Again, that's what I got from the synopsis. It sounds really interesting. I'm very much intrigued by the world and just, like, how this author is gonna do, like, characterize, like, stars and everything. So I'm very much intrigued. Again, everybody I've seen read this loved it. So I want to love it too, and I'm definitely excited to give it a chance. If you have watched this far, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please go ahead and like it down below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave all of that in the comment section. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. You're all some flowers in a world full of weeds.